back again. Today we are not going to talk about fragrances. Today I'm going to talk about the man that I really cherish and I really love his music and his work. Today we are going to remember Frank Sinatra. And why we are going to remember Frank Sinatra is all because that Frank Sinatra passed away on May 14th, 1998. And tomorrow will be his remembering day. And I decided to pay tribute to Frank Sinatra because he was one of a kind. He was a great man of music and also great man, great human being. And I'm going to tell you why I really admire this man above all because he was a real man of honor. And I think that we are not praising him enough. So I'm going to develop my mind on this matter. Frank Sinatra was above all an artist, one of the best singers of all time, and he started to become famous in the 40s. And step by step, he reached the stardom and he became number one. He became number one when all the others great artists were around him. Performers such as Perry Como, Tony Bennett, Bing Crosby, Dean Martin, Vic Damone, also Johnny Hartman, Al Martino, and Johnny Mathis, Nat King Cole, and many more were around him, and he tops them all. Why he tops them all? Because he was simply the best. He didn't stole a place of nobody. He was the best by his own talent, and he was the best by his own hard worship. So he really achieved the stardom step by step, and he became number one. All because Frank Sinatra was a man of honor. He was a guy that he really loved his work, and he really worked hard to reach that stardom. And nobody could really beat him because on this field, his phrasing was fantastic. His voice was rich. His voice was flawless, and his technique of singing was amazing. He sang naturally great, and he never used any autotune or stuff that today's singer they use, and they cannot even sing properly. Frank Sinatra became number one when Bing Crosby was around, when Tony Bennett was around, when Nat King Cole was around, and also when others such as Vic Damone or Perry Como or Dean Martin, Al Martino, and of course Johnny Hartman and many other great talented singers were around. And he was number one because he was simply the best. And he tops them all. He tops them all one by one, and everybody respected him. Nobody disrespect Frank Sinatra because they knew that he's the best. He's the best in the field of singing, and he was also a great, talented actor and Academy Award winner. He won an Oscar for a movie called From Here to Eternity. Everybody remember how he played great the part of Maggio. He was fantastic actor. He was a fantastic actor also in The Man with the Golden Arm, which he played a jazz player addicted to drugs, and he really played that movie fantastically. And in my opinion, he deserved another Oscar for that movie too as well. And even he had a respect from Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando praised the work of Frank Sinatra. They worked together, and he really always gave his best, and he tried his best. He was a fantastic dancer. We all remember all the great movies he done with Gene Kelly, One Day in New York, or the other movies they played together. Everybody remember how he was easily pairing Gene Kelly, and he was naturally talented guy. He was gifted by nature, and he never tried to reach anything for free. He never cheated on no one. Frank Sinatra was a man of honor. And also we have to praise him because of Frank Sinatra, American black artists, they step by step, they got a breakthrough to the national stardom of music because Frank Sinatra let them pair next to him in the shows, in his own shows, Frank Sinatra show, and also he invited them to Las Vegas. He invited them to great nightclubs all over the United States, wherever he performed. He sang with Louis Armstrong. He sang with Ella Fitzgerald. He sang, of course, he was a partner of Sammy Davis Jr., who was a member of the Rat Pack. And because of him, the black artists, the community, they started to be among white male or white American artists, which was not a lot before. And he even worked with Nat King Cole. He done a lot for black community artists, and really he was a man of honor because he also was fighting against racial segregation, and he done a great job. He really achieved many goals, and I think we are not praising him enough for what who he was and what he did during his lifetime. And Frank Sinatra was not a kind of man that you can forget so easily because he was also a great charity founder. He was also a man that he really gives a lot to charities. All the things he done are very, very, very praising. And unfortunately, wherever you talk and wherever you hear, people now they say, yeah, he was linked to mafia. Okay, maybe he was linked to mafia, but at least why don't you never talk about his good side? Why you never talk about his achievements? Why you never talk about his friendship with Sammy Davis Jr., with Louis Armstrong? Why you never talk that he allowed a black American artist to be part of the game? So I'm sorry, guys, you are not very fair toward Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra was a kind of man that we don't have it nowadays. We don't have a guy like that anymore because those kind of guys, they were guys of honors, they were guys of respect, and they were guys of promises, and he kept his promises. Frank Sinatra did wonderful job over charities. He did wonderful job over racial fights, and he did a wonderful job with his friends. He never forgot his friends. He was always there for his friends, and whenever anyone reached him, he never turned his back. He was there for Tony Bennett. He was there for Dean Martin. He was always there for all of them, and all of them they could count on him. That's why everybody in the world of music, everybody called him the chairman of board, because he was the boss. He was a real boss. And I just wanted to remember that guy today because tomorrow is his passing day, and for me was one of the saddest day of my life. Uh, May 14, 1998, because when I heard the news that Frank Sinatra passed away, something really, I felt the emptiness around me. And I don't know if you are also having any feeling for Frank Sinatra or not, but here, personally, I really always love his music. I love his work. I love his personality and I love his charisma, and also I love his movies. He was fantastic in most of them, and this guy, he was a great fellow. Like all of us, he made some mistake along the way, but after all, let's remember him for his good things he done, and those are also fabulous achievements because Frank Sinatra did a lot for racial segregation, and he did a lot for Black American artists. And thanks to him, they started to find their own way among white artists, and they started to be seen on the TV, and things go on. I think they really owe him a lot. Black American artists, they owe a lot to Frank Sinatra, and they have to remember that. They are here because of Frank Sinatra. Otherwise, maybe they wouldn't be here as they are now, and they owe him a lot. So I wonder myself why there is no statue of Frank Sinatra in the middle of Times Square, because after all, he was a guy from Hoboken. He was a guy from New York, and the national anthem of New York is the song sang by Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. So why nobody asked themselves why they never built a statue of Frank Sinatra in the heart of Times Square? And this is unfair. This is very unfair because Frank Sinatra deserved to have a statue in the heart of Times Square or in the heart of Central Park because he was a guy from New York and he did a lot for New York. He always been there, and he deserved to have his own statue in the heart of New York. And I think New Yorkers should remember more about Frank Sinatra because they owe him a lot. They owe him a lot. He did a lot for the city of New York. So I don't understand why the world forgot Frank Sinatra so easily. This man was the greatest of all. He is still the greatest of all. Nobody will ever pair him. And when I hear new singers singing songs of Frank Sinatra in such a weird way, with autotune and with the sissy voice, and they just ruin the whole song. Come on. Nobody will ever pair Frank Sinatra. He was a one of a kind. He was a shooting star. So we have to know that. Frank Sinatra's voice was rich, was powerful. He was a fantastic baritone. He was not a joker. So I'm sorry to say, when I hear, for example, Michael Bublé singing "Come Fly to Me," I want to laugh. I just want to laugh. This guy, he just sings Frank Sinatra in the very bad way, and folks, they praise him. You don't have to praise Michael Bublé. You have to praise Frank Sinatra because Michael Bublé he just eating after Frank Sinatra. He just eating the leftover of Frank Sinatra. So I'm sorry, guys. I just wanted to give you my opinion about Frank Sinatra. We owe him a lot, and black community owe him a lot too. And he deserved to be more praised. He deserved to have his own statue in the heart of New York, and he deserved to be remembered. As long as I live, I will remember him as the greatest of all. The rest is none of my business. God bless his soul, and Francis, you were one of a kind. That's my talk about Frank Sinatra, and I'll be glad to read your comments. You can, of course, drop a comment, and just wanted to share my love about Frank Sinatra with you guys. Have a great day. Until we talk again, God bless you all. Bye bye.